Well, hello everybody. This is Mark Lowry, and you're in my office, and this is where I record the Mark Lowry Show, usually. Not in my robe, but, hey, I'm home. I'm on vacation. It's the summer. Bill Gaither stories. There's some funny ones out there. I called him the other day, and I asked him about one that I'd heard about before I was with the Gaither vocal band. I believe Sandy, Steve Green were singing backup for Bill at the time. But Bill had heard a great sermon about a week before, and it was really on his mind, but he didn't have the wherewithal to deliver that sermon the way he'd received it. And this is what happened. Listen.
We were at our international convention, and this brilliant black pastor from Philadelphia who'd had a background in science and biology took about 15 minutes to explain in wonderful scientific terms how wonderfully and beautifully and meticulously the human body is put together. And it was amazing, the scientific facts. And he would use scripture to support all this science. And he kept building his case for the beautiful connection between science and scripture. He said, they're not antithesis. They go together. I mean, God knew this from the beginning, and just described the delicate way that the human body is put together, and kept building his case to where, when he got to the end of his 30 or 35-minute speech, he says, even the fact, did you know that there are millions of sperm heading towards the egg to fertilize the egg, and only one of them makes it and penetrates the egg and causes the pregnancy, and builds this up as only a black pastor can do it in a beautiful, spiritual, scriptural context. And by this time, the saints are on their feet shouting when he said, and that is you. And he pointed at, and by this time, the saints are shouting, they're on their feet, saying, you are a winner. You survived. You made it. Do you realize how beautiful that is? And everybody was praising God. I was in tears. It was so moving. So, 2 weeks later, we're in Bozeman, Montana, and we're singing, I am loved, I am loved, I can risk loving you. And I'm caught up in this sermon where I had a 20-minute preparation, beautifully done, scientifically and scripturally and theologically, to get me to the place where I was in tears. And I'm remembering that, and as we're singing, I am loved, the one who knows the best. And when we get to the end of the chorus, I said to the people, do you really understand what you're singing? Do you know how loved you are? I mean, do you realize how valuable you are in the sight of God? Did you realize there were millions of sperm heading towards that egg, and there was only one of you, and you survived, and you made it? And the crowd gasped. They were not on their feet shouting. They were gasping, saying, did he say what I just thought he said? Roger Bird, our drummer, fell off his seat. And we got back. So they tried to keep their face as straight as they could on the stage. When we got off stage, they said, now tell us about the sperm story one more.